everybody, welcome back to another massive Hot Wheels video. We have J, K, L, and M, I believe, or is there no M? There's no L case, is there? Well, we'll figure it out as we go. If there's no L case, then it's M and M, but mostly, I should say, because I have a straggler here from G Case. We're going to get right into it here. This is the Volkswagen T2 pickup. Love this release, so let's take a look. Yeah, so we're just going to rapid fire cracking so we can, or so I can add all of these into the Hot Wheels collection. Here is the T2 pickup in the Volkswagen service livery. I love that. I don't think there is a better livery that will fit this vehicle. Maybe if we do a Porsche one as well, Porsche or Audi, but you're not going to get better than the service liveries. Absolutely love this. You got chrome bed because it's part of the interior. I'm not sure why the interior is chrome unless they wanted to do a chrome bed, but all right then. Volkswagen badge, and I love the blue stripes and the off gray, the primer gray looking color. And then the disc rims work really well. Love this. Love this look. That's a great one. Alright, so into J Case, we have a recolor of the DeLorean Alpha 5. Or, is it a recolor? Yeah, because there was white, black, and now this, what do you want to call it? Orange? This burnt orange. I don't know if these are available to purchase right now. If they are, they're super expensive, and I probably won't see one in my area for a long time. But you got the DeLorean across the front, black trim. You got the LED headlight strips, and then your LED taillight strips. DeLorean must light up too because it's red, and then I guess a rain light maybe. Super cool, like vents on the back here. Louvers on the rear window, sort of. Not vents. They do still have gull wing doors. Just a very, very sleek car, and Hot Wheels did a really good job molding it. I quite like it. Here we have a traditional supercar that is gasoline. Oh, no, they're hybrid. These are hybrid. The McLaren P1. Part of the new Holy Trinity, I guess. The new generation of Holy Trinity. I guess we're due for another one because this car is kind of old now. When did the Hot Wheels casting come out? 2014. I think that's about as old as the real car is too. Pretty timeless though. Like, it doesn't look like a 10-year-old car, which is crazy to say that the McLaren P1 is 10 years old. Very nice successor to the F1. I can't say the same about the W1, but got McLaren emblem on the front there. There's your headlight details. I think Hot Wheels went a little overboard with the larger rear wheels. I know that's a thing on the real car, but it's a 2014 casting. I can't say too much. If this was a new casting, I would have much more to say about it. There's your exhaust, and then your LED strips on the back there. This does get the new wheels that debuted last year. I haven't gotten very many cars that have these wheels on them, but they are pretty nice looking. Sort of flat like the Matchbox ones. Like, they don't have that depth that these ones do. You know, it's just that low profile rim and tire. And I drop it. Next up, we have a recolor of the Pajero Evolution in orange. Of course, this is not, at least it's not a stock color for the Evolution. This is actually pretty close to a regular Pajero orange, but not a Evolution. The Evolutions only came in red, white, black, and silver. That's it. Those are the only 4 colors that you could get on them. Of course, this was the super treasure hunt of the J Case, I believe. This obviously isn't, and I see that they're pretty cheap. I should have bought one, like, because people were trying to sell them for $15. I should have. If I can find one again. I just love the casting. The Super isn't the greatest because of the tires and the wheels. They're awful choices. But love the white 5 spokes. Hot Wheels graphic on the door. Rally art on the rear quarter. Super cool. I just got like the mud base on it though, which is weird. But alright. Next up, the Porsche 904 Carrera GTS. This is a brand new model for 2024. Brand new, and we'll take a look at it. I'm not too familiar with the real vehicle. Of course, the proportions do look a little funny on the Hot Wheels, but I think they are pretty close. This is sort of a typical design of these older kind of Le Mans style cars, of the rear or the front tires being a little more centered in between the windshield and the front noses, and it's the extension of the front nose that makes them look a little disproportionate. But I think this is accurate. It just looks funny. It's a pretty smooth car though. I like it. Small, smooth. We got this oval on the base again. Still don't have any idea what that is. 86 on the front hood, I guess you could call it. I like how it's got the fog lights down here, and then you got your actual lights up here, which are part of the window piece. Got the wiper. Porsche emblem on the front fender. 86. And then Carrera GT5. I didn't look. Oh, GTS. I just said GTS too. There's your exhaust and then your taillights. It does have the steely rims, which of course fit it. I mean, I think these are the only wheels that would fit it, unless you switch it with Matchbox rims. But yeah, super cool car. The red recolor didn't do much for me, so I do not have that one. I don't like the red and the blue. I like the silver and blue better. That's the one thing with Hot Wheels lately, especially the stuff with liveries. The recolors are not as good as the first versions. With plain colors, yeah, the recolors are fine, just as good, if not better. But with the liveries, they look weird, and I'm glad that they did not. I'm glad this was a super and didn't get a recolor, quote unquote, because I think they would have messed up this livery. They would have messed it up, and they would have messed up the color of the car. They would have done it like yellow or something. And like, what? Or like that blue. Now we're gonna just, in between cases here, we're just gonna take a little break and throw in something that isn't even related to the main line, which for this one we got a Hot Ones Datsun 510. And this one is very notable because it is all metal. Look at that, you got a metal chassis. This thing is heavy. So it does have the Hot Ones rims. I might remove the decals and swap the wheels. I don't know. I do feel like this one's going to go up in value too. So would it be smart to get another one? Maybe. And it's not that I'm planning on just keeping it and then selling it. It's just that I don't want to. If it's going to be valuable, I don't want to ruin it. Like, I don't know. It does have like the BRE decals on the side here, which is interesting. And then they have the classic 80s graphics. They kind of look like stickers you would see on an older Transformer. Super cool. Taillights are detailed, headlights are detailed, and then of course you got your BRE sort of ghost livery. Love the green though. This thing would look awesome with the decals removed, wheels swapped, and a metal chassis. This would be an awesome, awesome little custom. But yeah, maybe like a black wash the grill or something. Moving into JK, or no, we just did J case. K case. Here we have, the Kowloon'd Hypervan. Kowloon'd Hypervan? Now, this is going to look super familiar because it is a Toyota coaster. And I would have my Tomica one out. I just don't know where it is. Well, I have a Tomica one in the similar livery. But I don't know where it is. Mine's got the red roof. They did the red roof and the green roof. I don't know where I have a red roof. I don't have the green one. These are, of course, Hong Kong buses. The styling, the paint job is a Hong Kong style livery. But, of course, the bus is a Toyota coaster. It is Japanese. I'm going to see if I have a Tomica one here to compare it to. Which I might. just to compare, I do, actually. I do. Just to compare the casting. Now this one is a school bus. I don't know where this release even came from. Probably a multi-pack from Tomica. It's some sort of school bus. It's got the warning stickers on it. I don't know if these were applied afterwards. Or, all the stickers look weird. But I think this is like original. I don't think these stickers were applied by the owner. I think this is original. But yeah, this is a Japanese school bus. And of course, this is what the Hot Wheels Hyperbus or Hypervan is based on. It is a Toyota coaster. But of course not licensed. Because Hot Wheels getting a licensed Toyota coaster would kind of be a little boring. And it's kind of hard to show you like what's going on. Of course, this is some sort of aero. It's got a body kit, obviously. But like the tail lights are in the same spot, kind of. This thing has rear doors, or a rear door, which is something the coaster doesn't have. Of course, the coaster has the side door here. It's got the extension panel. Of course, and it's got that like silhouette of the coaster. Although, yeah, the coaster does have the hump up here, but this one has like fins on it for aerodynamics, while this one is just humped up. So it does have the hump there. The Tomica one of the Hong Kong bus does have this little sign. Mine doesn't. Or, well, this one doesn't because it's a school bus. But the Hong Kong ones do have the sign on the roof. I just wish I knew where mine was, so I could actually do a proper comparison. I don't know. I thought well, it's not where I thought it was, so that's an issue. But there's the Hypervan. I love the Hypervan. I don't know if I'll get every version. If I recognize it as like a familiar livery, like of course I recognize this one, the tan and the green, as the Hong Kong transit buses. Also, I don't know if this is supposed to be plain on this side. Also, I like the fact that the door is like half open. You can see the steps in there and everything. But I don't know if it's supposed to have a livery over here, because this side's got a lot going on, and then this side's just nothing. So I don't know. But of course the stripe is centered towards the decaled side too. So who knows? But that thing is super cool. Next, we're going to go the complete opposite direction with a Mercury Cougar Eliminator in this turquoise. I really like it. And I do not have an example of this casting. I don't know how old this casting is, but I do not have one. So this one was definitely needed to add. I mean, it's not terrible. It's 2008, so this thing's been around for a while. I'm sure it was on a hiatus from the Hot Wheels line for a little bit. I don't know if it was ever in premium. I'm sure this spawned from like the Hot Wheels garage era and all that. But you got the Eliminator stripe on the side there. I might just remove the black stripes and keep the white ones. I think that'll be cool. Remove those two. Just like half custom. I like the Cougar on the quarter panel. Got the marker lights. This kind of almost gives the Riviera vibes, if anybody's seen the new Riviera casting coming out for 2025. Same color, so that will be a fun one to get as well. Got the chrome base. Love the grille with the hidden headlights. And yeah, this is a super cool casting. It's a dual exhaust. Oh yes. I don't know. I don't normally put them back there like that. Gonna have to fit them all in here. Next, we have a Zamac. This is the Audi RS2 Avant, the tuned by Porsche. I do collect this casting, other than the Super, of course. That's not a $15 Super like the Pajero. So I figured to get the Zamac, and the Zamac is clean. Every version has been clean. Well, no, not the... There's a Forza one, isn't there, in the Audi livery? So not every version has been clean, but that one is an Audi livery, okay? It makes sense. But otherwise, these weren't really race cars. Yeah, unless you made it one. But just got the headlight details, Audi badge on the front there, black grille, tail light all the way across. Pretty much the same graphics as the red version, which I did in the previous Hot Wheels unboxing. It does have the Zamac emblem on the tailgate there. I do have the turquoise one coming up later in this video. Here we have the Mazda RX-7 from Project, is it Project? I don't know. It's not, is this a real sponsor? Because there's no like advertising on the packaging. Although the Falcon stuff doesn't either, so. It just looks like Project U, but I don't think that's what it was. And I was going to say Project J, but I thought they did Hondas. But I think this thing looks pretty cool. It gives me the Fast and Furious RX-7 vibes. But I love the white and the turquoise. I think that's just a cool livery. Very, very 90s. Taillights actually very detailed. I think this is the first time they have been since the, well, other than premium releases. I think first time since the first edition. RX-7 Mazda. Looking very good. You got your marker lights on the side here too. That's a nice touch, even though they're not lined up. This side is. Yeah, I love the livery on this one. The blue recolor isn't as good and the wheels are ugly, but I thought I still got it thinking I might remove the decals, but it might look a lot like the original release. Here we have the Acura NSX, or yeah, I'm just saying, or Honda, from the 90s. I don't know if this one's getting a recolor. I don't think I've seen one yet. This casting isn't, unfortunately, the greatest, which is a shame because I feel like Ryu could have done better. But I will collect the stock versions of it, which there actually hasn't been many of, come to think of it, any stock releases. A lot of them get those stupid graphics that the multi-pack versions did. And then they brought it into the main line, did the same thing. But yeah, I love the yellow. I've seen a yellow one in real life. I've actually parked next to a yellow one. I have photos of my car next to a yellow one, just randomly, like out in the wild. It wasn't even at a car show. So there's photos of my car next to a yellow NSX like this. Super cool. Yeah, the cast, they went like the P1. Ryu went overboard on that rear wheel size. I wonder if it was a requirement, like if he had to do that, just because they wanted to Hot Wheelsify it, quote unquote. But yeah, if it looked more like that, I mean, the NSXs did have larger rear wheels. Don't get me wrong, but you know, this RX-7 casting's perfect, and I wish the NSX was too. It's time for Matchbox to do one. As a tribute to Ryu, they should do an NSX. We're like on the classic JDM's theme right now. So Nissan Skyline 200 GTR Liberty Walk. I don't know if this is a real livery, but it looks like it could be. And I like the dark gray. Just super cool, super clean, and very, you know, kind of Japanese simplistic styling. I love the headlight graphics on this. It kind of does look like manga-ish. No taillight details because that'd be hard. This casting is also pretty heavy, which is cool. Liberty Walk. Got the Liberty Walk logo on the front fender. Got the wide body kit and then the small. I think the wheels are kind of small. But, you know, they really can't, like, because I think the wheels would kind of tuck up under the fenders there. I think they can't really imitate that, so instead they just do the smaller wheels to give it that stance to make it look like they're tucked. It works. It works. I'm not too displeased with it as a Skyline fan. I like it. Now here is like one of the stars of the year. If you were to say top 5 releases, I think everybody will have this on their list. This is the renowned, I think that's how it's pronounced, renowned Mazda 787B, the iconic livery. This is the first and probably only mainline 770B or 787B that I will add to the collection. Of course I prefer the premium ones because details are much better, but this is the renowned 787B, and I like that they did it in the mainline, not because the release is kind of, you know, meh. You know, the premium would be much better even with the grainy decals, but I prefer the mainline because it made it more available for people to get, and I think everybody needs this, so that's why I appreciate it being in the mainline. Just super iconic vehicle. When you talk about Japanese iconic vehicles, yeah, the street legal vehicles always come up, but the second you get into racing, The 787B is going to be one of the first on that list. This is beautiful. Of course, it is missing half the delivery, but and they don't have the renowned licensing, so there's that too. This is awesome. Oh. Amazing, amazing. So glad to add that. And now, sticking with the Japanese theme, this is the 81 Toyota Starlet from the Japanese set. This artwork is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. And some would say better than the actual set itself. The only two that I actually wanted was the Skyline and the Starlet. The Cosmo was a maybe, but I like the white one better. And those two castings I don't care much for. The CRX needs a little retool. And so does the NSX really too. Or both NSXs. I would love the CRX retooled because they kind of went with a Mugen kit, but then they didn't. So it's got a lot of missing variables to it and a hodgepodge of variables. So I wish they would straighten that out. But the Starlet is gorgeous. This color fits it so well, and I love the orange and black striping, which I think is OEM. At least on the sides, I think it's OEM. I don't know if it is on the hood. That might be a Hot Wheels thing, but I think this is OEM, that stripe. It's got the little wide body kit on it, and the tiny little 5 spokes that kind of look like 1552s. This is amazing. Taillights look good. Headlights, and yeah, full details because it's a mid-premium, and it does have a metal base. Glad they got away with that on this one because it is small, and I don't think they are going to retool a plastic base for it. It was a shame that the Skyline didn't get a metal base because they have one to use for it. It's not like they didn't. Actually, all the cars in this Japan line have metal bases available. It's just whether they used them or not. I didn't really pay attention to them. Next up, we have some nostalgic. How many times have I said next up? I gotta switch up a little bit. We got some nostalgic here. This is the Diora II from Hot Wheels Acceleracers. Now, apparently it's in the Netflix show Let's Race. That looks very kiddish. If it's actually good and I'm wrong, someone can tell me. But I doubt it. But I'm curious to see where this shows up in the show. So is this the same universe as Hot Wheels Accelerators? What is going on? Why? And yeah, I'm curious. I tried looking up YouTube clips a while ago. Maybe I should try again. But yeah, I feel it's weird. It advertises it's in the show, but nobody really knows where. And this is on a short card, by the way. Someone at my Target decided to rip the Hot Wheels 50-pack open, and the workers there just dumped it into the dump-in. So, oh, okay, well, someone stole half the stuff from the 50-pack. They're like, well, there's nothing we can do. Dumped it in the bin, and I came through, and everything I wanted was there. I don't know what they took, but so this is where this come from. We'll take a look. This is, of course, the Diora was first in Hot Wheels media, of course, in Highway 35 as Kurt Wheeler's car, and then after Highway 35, the successor Acceleracers came out as a kind of show sort of thing. They were shorter movies, and of course he and some of the other characters join in there. And the Diora gets a repaint from the blue and white Wave Rippers to the white, blue, and yellow Teku. So it's kind of like it's kind of funny. The Acceleracers, they kind of play out as Teku's the European and Japanese cars, and then what was the other team? Slipping my mind. I know the Acceleracers fans are gonna beat me up. Scorchers was a Highway 35 thing. Slipping my mind what the other team was, but they were more muscle and power and all that. So it's kind of funny, but it's super good. The animation has not aged well, but it is a super good show. I've got to rewatch it. I just don't have the time. Headlights look good, and of course all the details here. So this looks like the original. I'm not going to spoil anything. I was gonna talk about the actual usage of this vehicle in the Acceleracers. Wasn't going to spoil anything, but this, I guess, looks like how it should. So it's Weird that it enters Let's Race without any sort of changes to it. I wonder if there's like a flashback or something, or one of the kids his kid. Like, there's gotta be something interesting there. I hope it's interesting at least. And I'm dropping more stuff. More on the short card. Got the 1992 BMW M3. By the way, I do not recommend opening the 50 packs. I would never do that. But, you know, when someone does, what are the store employees going to do? They just dumped it into the... And I think they hit multiple 50 packs. I don't know if they were looking for a super, but I think there was more than one 50 pack dumped into this dump bin, because, you know, it was all mixed in with long cards and the short cards. And now they started putting, like, the little protective straps on them so people can't open them, which is smart. But I don't know why people were digging through them anyway. I don't think they hold supers. I don't. But what if they're out of the thing and in the dump bin, then I guess they're free to take. Or not free, I still paid for them. They still scan, by the way. If that ever happens to your store, don't be the one to open the pack. But if someone does and the packaging is gone and the cars are just there to take, they will scan. Please scan them. Don't. I can't believe I have to say this. Don't be stupid. But here is the BMW M3. Super cool. It's got the BMW graphic on the side here. Blue windows, which I don't care for too much. Black stripes on the hood. No, I don't either. But it's a nice metallic yellow. Kind of like a sand yellow. You don't see metallic yellow very often. You don't see yellow often in general. Look how dull this really is. And then, boom, NSX. And we're going to stick that right in front of them. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. Don't want to. They always do that. Here we have a recolor of the Volkswagen ID Buzz. This is the second recolor. Of course, it debuted last year without a recolor in yellow. And now we got a recolor a year later. I don't know if it's going to get a recolor again before next year. I'm unaware currently. But of course, they do the two-tone. They at least attempt to do it. It's not done flawlessly, but headlights look good. The LED stripe, there's your Volkswagen badge. And of course the two-tone white trim across the top of the body line. Taillights never line up. Don't look for it. It's not going to happen. Actually, this isn't terrible, but that side, there's no splitting differences. ID Buzz, all on the rear, their Volkswagen badge. And then the roof is, of course, clear part of the window piece. Nice. Oh, it is metallic, too. I didn't notice that. I thought it was just a pastel orange. No, that is metallic. Very nice. Very nice. And it is electric, so there's not going to be much on the base anyway. But even if it wasn't, bases are normally pretty plain. Although I picked the Sora as a terrible example. How's the Diora look? Diora get retooled. It's kind of got the similar oval thing going on here with the rivets, but it is not. It's the original casting. I wonder. Oh, the 787B doesn't have the oval thing. I'm sure they would have done it if it wasn't a premium casting already. Here's the Audi RS2 Avant that I mentioned previously when looking at the Zamac. This is the turquoise one that I absolutely love. This is the greatest release of this casting and will probably forever be the greatest release of this casting. Headlights look good, markers look good. That gorgeous turquoise. It's a little lighter than the Eliminator. Audi on the back there. I don't know why it's got a chip missing out of the Audi emblem. And the taillights. Pretty simple, but pretty awesome. I love it. We're almost done here. We have two new castings on short card. We have the Lotus Type 49. This thing is pretty cool. I'm not like the biggest fan of open wheel race cars, but I'm familiar with them, and when I see this, I think it's really well done. And I can appreciate that, and I will purchase it, and I did. So apparently there is a variant of it with number 6 on the side. Is it 6 or 4. I don't know, but there's another number variant. And I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. It's all metal. I mean, it's not like a massive car like this for it to be noticeable. So, but that white piece is metal, and this green piece is metal. The body and the chassis. Of course, the engine's plastic. Is the driver metal? The driver's metal. He's part of the base. Okay, so there's just the only plastic thing on here is the engine and the window, of course. Wow. So, like I was saying, really well done. These wheels fit it phenomenally. Phenomenally. It's got the white stripe, Lotus up front there. This is a great... Top 5 casting? Is this a top 5 casting of the year? I'm gonna stretch out and say it might be, but it isn't in the top 3 because you know what indefinitely is? The Pagani Utopia. This, I have to say, is in the top 3 for the year. Maybe even the best in the main line. And that's what I'm talking about, mainline. Premium's got a whole nother, like the 323 in the main, or is it 323? Yeah. The Mazda 323 in the main line, or in the premium line, is just gorgeous, and I need to do a video of that ASAP. But the Utopia for the main line, this is amazing, and it's done by one of the newer Hot Wheels designers, or at least he's ventured into designing his own cars instead of like liveries or working with teams or whatever. And he is just doing a phenomenal job. I'm liking everything that he's done so far, except maybe the premium Type R. That one could use some work. The rest of them, he's got a better track record than the rest of the crew. And the Utopia is his first mainline project, I believe he said, and he just knocked it out of the park. Like, I'm not a supercar guy. I do appreciate the beauty in the supercars. I just don't know. I don't know supercar. I don't get too excited over them, but this is gorgeous. And when someone can design a model to make me love a car that I know nothing about, they've got some talent. And this definitely deserves a top 3 finish in my personal best of the year. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole video on that again. I can if it's something your people are interested in, just hear me yapping about my opinion, which is something I do anyway. But just again, I think that one's got to be top. And should this be included in the main line? It's got a metal base, but this is the Nissan 350Z Custom for Fast and Furious. You know, we're splitting one last time here before I get to the last case. But, they're not the last of the year, but the last of this video. But, God, like, this has a Nismo body kit on it, I believe. Or, like, a Nismo-inspired body kit. Of course, it's a Velside kit in the movie, but obviously does not have the license. And I'm surprised they just didn't make it a Nismo kit because it's close enough. I guess the front bumper isn't really Nismo-like. Kind of almost looks like the new Z. The way those LEDs are. I mean, they kind of look like Corvette headlights, but I don't know, but this thing is awesome. Of course, this is DK's car in the movie, so it's got the Japanese bug on the side of it, which I think is super weird that he made a whole livery based on those massive Japanese beetles that just scare me. But the other side is actually pretty cool, because it's just the fender flares and then a stripe that comes off the front fender flare, which are detailed. Yeah, super cool car. I love like kind of the Ghost graphics look to it. Of course, it does have a metal base, just a flat chunk of metal. The spoiler is metal, part of the body. This is awesome. Does this deserve to be mainline or premium? I mean, it's got a metal base, but it doesn't have rubber tires. Neither of that really applies to casting, but I'm just curious to see if it will show up in the mainline with a plastic base. I think that that and the Pagani are just proportioned very well. Like, look at that stance. I don't know, is that rear axle bent? That kind of looks like it, but just the way it's set. Man. You know, I complain about Hot Wheels a lot, but I also know how to give them credit. as long as they know how to get things done, and they do. The final 3 models here are from M Case, so I guess there was an L Case. I wasn't paying attention, as I said I would. So I guess M Case here, and we'll pick up with the next video in N Case. But this is the Dodge Viper RT. This is the second color of the brand new retool. The much needed, long awaited retool. Here's another one. I mean, this one I think I debated whether I wanted to include it in my top of the year last year. I mean, it is so good. Headlight details are a little funny looking. It looks like it has eyes. This is the Viper badge though. Viper RT10 on the front quarter panel. It gets the 3 spokes, which of course are perfect for them. This might be the only American car where the 3 spokes actually work. Great casting. Love the yellow. Love the tri-spoke rims. Viper RT10. Gorgeous casting. That's a nice lineup though. The Z, the Utopia, and the Viper. Even though the Viper isn't new this year, that's a nice, you know, America, Euro, JDM lineup. Was the Viper in the 90s set? No, exotics. Okay. It would be cool if it was in the 90s set, but I don't think it's a 90s car. No, it's a first gen. It would be late 90s, right? I don't know. Here's the 89 180 SX Type S. This is the super treasure hunt of the M Case. And it is a great one. I love that the Super is kind of a dark blue, while the regular one is a bright blue. And I love the white detailing on the bright blue. Like, that's just a great combo. You got Hot Wheels in Japanese written on the front door there. The lace rims look great. 180 SX on the rear trim piece, and then there's your taillights. And of course, this is the Type S, so it's got the Type S body kit, but it is lowered. I really want TLV to do the Type S because I love the rims that the Type S gets, and I love the way the stance is. Some people think it's ugly because it needs to be lowered for the ground effects to actually work, but I like it raised up. Yeah, so I hope TLV does it, but we got the Hot Wheels one for now. The Hot Wheels one is pretty thick, but it works, and this is a very clean livery. Happy to add that one. And the final model of the video, we got another brand new for 2024 casting. This is the Toyota GR86 Cup car with someone's signature on the side there. Yes, these are being raced currently with Hot Wheels sponsorship, which is pretty cool. We haven't seen really a Hot Wheels sponsored race car in a long time. I know they were doing the Top Fuel dragsters for a while, but before that, it was like NASCAR in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. It might have been full 90s. But this kind of has that homage to the 90s NASCARs. You know, just the blue with the Hot Wheels flame down the side. Of course, it's not like metallic like the... I like the NASCARs with the metallic blue and the white trim, or the white two-tone kind of. But I can kind of see an homage here. The headlights look really good, though. Like that. It's Toyota badge. Grill's part of the base. You got your hood pins. 70 on the door. Roman Empire? What's that in reference to? Roman Empire. Not the actual civilization, but... and that's Tom... Berenger? I suck at pronunciation. This is pretty cool. I think it'll look cool if you chop the spoiler off. You know, the front lip is kind of cool. I would keep that. I would just chop the spoiler off. And maybe it's a little disproportionate with the front, the chin spoiler there. If the wing is gone, I don't know. But I want to do something with it, custom-wise. But there you guys have it. What video is this? I don't remember. Is this the second one I've done this year? For 2024? I don't know, but there's your lineup. Pretty solid. Lots of goodies in here. Here, let me just try to space them out a little bit. Lots of goodies here. Let me know what's your favorites. You can add a couple favorites, I guess. Mine is this corner right here. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.